Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about the 2020 presidential election. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Joe Biden again. He's the former vice president who's now running for president, being the presumptive Democratic nominee who also just picked his VP candidate, Kamala Harris. Now, we're going to talk more specifically about Joe and what he said recently because he's made some pretty bold claims, and in fact, he's already been proven to be lying about President Trump, his opponent. And I think this story, this thing we're about to go over today, it pretty much debunks the idea that Joe Biden is a nice, kind, gentle person. He's a liar, actually, and he's also very mean and possibly sociopathic. I mean, this kind of lying is very, very troubling coming from a presidential candidate. He's about to spit out a lie that's been debunked. This kind of hoax that he's about to push has been debunked for about 3 years now. It happened way back in 2017, where the press and a lot of people took the president's quotes out of context. They actually removed parts of his quotes, trying to make him say something really bad. And now Joe Biden is resurfacing this meme, this debunked hoax claim, and he's pushing it as if it's true. It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty crazy. And that's why we have to go over it today. We're going to go over it beat by beat. We're going to talk about why it's wrong, why it's been debunked, how it's taken out of context. And in addition, we're going to talk about how that relates to the president, because actually I've had a pretty similar quote tried to be held against me too. They've had this happen with lots of other liberals. Liberals love to fake quotes and make stuff up. So that's why this strikes particularly close to home for me, because this stuff happens to conservatives like us all the time. They make up quotes, they put up clips, and they edit them together. They try to reframe what you said and take it out of context. They don't even show you the context. So that's why we're going to go over it today. We're going to talk about Joe Biden, this hoax he's pushing in a way to try and make President Trump look bad. So we're going to get to all that soon. But first, let's take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. Recently, big Second Amendment cases have not been taken by the Supreme Court. They decided to not look at it anymore, and they said they won't hear any appeals on several cases involving weapons too. This has caused a blow to activists and people who enjoy their Second Amendment, just like me and you. So in order to combat this and show our support for weapon owners, that's why we need to visit our link below this video to check out Beyond Patriots and their great giveaway of their popular Second Amendment coin. Support our Second Amendment rights and our American freedom by enjoying this free gold coin today. All you have to do is pay for shipping, and it's going to be a great way to support our Second Amendment rights. Normally these coins retail for a high price too, but for now you could get them for free just by paying shipping. And all you have to do is click our special link below this video. Show your support for the Second Amendment community by ordering your free Second Amendment gold coin today. But remember, this is only guaranteed while supplies last, so hurry up and check out the link and get yourself this beautiful gold coin right now. Thanks for your time, and now back to the show. Great, now that that's out of the way, let's get to the first tweet in question and then we'll explain some more. This is the tweet from Joe Biden from August 12th. It says, 3 years ago today, white supremacists descended on Charlottesville with torches in hand and hate in their hearts. Our president said they were very fine people. It was clear then and it's clear now. We are in a battle for the soul of our nation and we must win. Now, this of course is not true, and this is what they call the very fine people hoax. This is actually not something President Trump said. This is just a way to try and tie the president with very extreme radical people who have, yes, some bad beliefs. Like, no one is defending that. I don't think anyone thinks that certain races here are better than others. That's not part of President Trump's platform. That's not part of the conservative party, nor is it part of this show here. No one here thinks that. No one has supported these far fringe groups. No one is supporting that. No one said they're very fine people, as we'll get to. We're going to get to a proof that that's wrong. Benny responds here. You can already see that on this bottom. He's responding with the correct and accurate term. So we're going to get to that. But basically, yeah, this is just classic leftist wordplay. Trump did not say this. He did not say very fine people about these bad radicals who have awful beliefs that everyone disavows. Like, this is the same group that I've been attempted to be attached to. My detractors have tried to pull up old quotes and they've re-edit them and taken out context and stuff. Very similar to what's happening to Trump. And again, it's also similar because these quotes, like mine, like Trump's, they come from 2017, 3 years ago. They come from a different time. This was before this event. There was a lot of different things going on. And yes, things went wrong there, but to hold these quotes against someone and misrepresent them and take them out of context is just really misleading, especially since we all know, me and Trump, we've disavowed and we don't care about any of these groups. We're not supporting fringe extremists. We don't care about any kind of supremacy or anything like that. That's absolutely absurd. But despite all that, despite these quotes and ideas being debunked 3 years ago, Joe Biden's bringing them back up. He's really just pushing this hoax. The Very Fine People hoax is one of the worst ones. It's one of the easiest to debunk too. So let's go ahead and get to that. Let's move forward. This is the response from Benny. It says, will Twitter fact check this tweet? So we read VP Biden's tweet. Let's see what this PolitiFact picture says. So it says right here, you can see part of the quote. This is what Trump said. It says, you're changing culture and you had people. And I'm not talking about the neo N-words and the white nationalists because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than those. And that's where he goes on to say fine people. But this is the point. This is the quote that Trump specifically says he's not talking about these people. These are the two groups that they try to attach Trump to. They try to attach me to, like every conservative, basically. This is why they call us 1940s Germans all the time. This is why they try to say we're racist. And this is just totally untrue. Like we have that quote from there. That's Benny giving us the context. And, here's the full extended speech. This is not out of context. This is the full thing. And that's why it's just so damning and so much proof that the Democrats will just lie. They'll just put that out there, even if it's not true. They don't care about the truth. They care about warping people's minds and misleading them using propaganda tactics and, just 1984 Big Brother stuff. They're really just rewriting history, playing word games, not being honest. They can't attack people directly because, people like Trump, people like myself, a lot of strong conservatives, we're pretty squeaky clean. We might have some funny off-color jokes in our past. We might have said something that 10 years ago could be considered racist now because of modern PC sensibilities, but nothing like that is that bad. Like this fine people thing sounds a little bad too, but like we said, it's not true. It's proven to be false. It's proven to be a hoax. And the other presidential candidate is promoting that. That's pretty insane. And when we get to the next part of this story, it actually gets even worse because this, of course, is on Twitter. And the next place that Benny goes with this is saying how Twitter repeatedly fact-checked and placed manipulated media labels on President Trump's tweets. Now, will they do that to Joe Biden? Well, I highly doubt it. It's been about 24 hours now since this happened. We're not seeing any warnings, no labels, no punishments to Biden for lying. So it's just pretty damning. Like Twitter is allowing this provable lie, and then they're taking down and mislabeling Trump's tweets, which I think is just rather off-putting and showing how biased Twitter really is. I mean, this is the same company, they took down videos of Trump posting doctors talking about stuff, and their doctors, they're studying. They had a group of doctors having this conference, and they removed those videos for being like propaganda or something. They removed that all over the internet. And that's just because it didn't go with their narrative. It wasn't saying the talking points that the Democrats want to push right now. So they removed it. They removed it from Trump. They label his tweets like manipulated media when he posts videos. But with Biden, I mean, he just gets total carte blanche. He can say whatever he wants. He can totally straight up push this debunked hoax, a hoax that's been proven to be wrong for 3 years. It's just absolutely absurd, and it keeps popping up, and that's why it's really frustrating. And again, I'm not trying to compare myself to Trump too much. I'm just trying to identify with him, like sympathize with him. I know I'm on a different level completely, but I've had the same thing happen to me with old quotes, like quotes from Twitter, live streams that I've appeared on, like past. I did lots of different live streams with lots of different people, and they want to try to clip those together and associate you with the farther extreme side and say that, oh, you said this, you said that, now you're extreme too. Even though we've all disavowed them, we're not about any of these supreme people, any of these nationalists. Like we're all totally off that. We're just regular mainstream conservative people, like conservative leaning people, Republicans, Trump supporters. And there's nothing wrong with that. They want to tie us to these groups, to these far fringe groups, but it's just not true. And it's just really them lying and having desperation. They can't handle the direct confrontations with people. So they try to tie you to other people and do guilt by association. And, oh, we're going to cut your words apart and take out the quote in the middle of your sentence to make it seem like you like someone. They call that like a Frankenstein quote is what it was called when I was in film school and studying, media and journalism and stuff like that. Like, it's just basically they cut your quote and they take words out to make you say something else. So, if you say, for example, here's another story on the side here. It says this Control video game won't give free next gen upgrade to players. So if you just cut out the won't, you can make that sound like it's saying Control to give free next gen to all players. And you could take this too and put it up there. You can basically chop the clip so much that you can make it sound like someone's saying something that's totally different, totally the opposite, or totally something else that you're going for. And that's what's going on here. And I think we have a good argument to go against Twitter too. Like here, Benny goes on and says, Jack Dorsey, the leader of Twitter, he testified under oath that Twitter does not enforce rules based on politics. But this is them doing that. I mean, they're letting Biden lie. They're letting him push a hoax about Trump. They're not even labeling it or doing any of the things they do against conservatives. They remove these kinds of posts from conservatives. You're not allowed to say this about Biden or other Democrats. But if it's Trump, it's fair game. And that's just the terrible side of this story. It's really bad. It's an old, long debunked hoax. We have the full video. We have the full quote on paper. I mean, it's just so verifiably wrong. It's just insulting. It's really insulting. Like everyone that's reading this and thinking twice, they should be checking the facts, looking at these links, looking up the real video and just realizing that the press and the Democrats and Biden himself, they will push a lie. They will totally throw this lie at you and pretend it's true, pretend it was never debunked, like kind of like a gaslighting tactic. Like it's almost like, oh, are we crazy? Am I remembering this wrong? Like, are they testing my memory? Is it a new quote? It makes you question everything, really. That's how I feel. I feel really frustrated and, a little upset. Like this is definitely bad. And I see it happening to Trump. That's why I get more triggered, because it's happened to me repeatedly. Like old quotes come up, they get misrepresented, they get shared without context. And it's just really, really lame. And it shows how desperate the Democrats are. That's why we just got to calmly debunk them, talk it through like what we're doing today, and just show the people that there's not really that bad of stuff out there. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell for notifications, and you can also check out our second channel, NoBS News. Recently, I just posted a video about Jamie Lee Curtis on the second channel. She thought that President Trump was trying to steal the election, and you'll never believe what made her think that. She saw a truck being towed, basically, and this got her really triggered. So if you want to see more about that story, check out our second channel, NoBS News. Extra videos on there every week. Thanks for your time today. Until next time, have a good one.